You said you'd start today, and you didn't. Again, you made a promise to yourself this morning and broke it before the day even began. Not because you're busy, not because life is hard, but because you don't trust yourself anymore. And the worst part, you're getting used to it. This isn't going to be comfortable, because what you're dealing with right now isn't laziness. It's not a lack of motivation. It's not even a lack of time. It's something deeper, something more dangerous. You are slowly training your mind to ignore your own voice. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, and don't. Every time you say, just 5 more minutes, and lose an hour. Every time you plan your life at night and destroy it in the morning. You are building a version of yourself that cannot be trusted. And discipline? Discipline is impossible for someone who doesn't believe their own words. Think about that. Let's be honest. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a pattern, a cycle, a loop that repeats itself so perfectly, you don't even question it anymore. You wake up with intentions, strong ones. This is the day. You feel it. You believe it. You imagine yourself working hard, focused, locked in, different this time. But then, the phone, just one check, just one scroll, just one video, and suddenly, your mind is gone. Not because you're weak, but because you've trained it to escape the moment things get uncomfortable, and you don't even notice when it happens. That's the scary part. It's automatic. You don't decide to fail. You drift into it, slowly, quietly, like quicksand. And by the time you realize what's happening, the day is already wasted. Again, be honest. How many times has this happened? How many mornings started with purpose and ended in regret? How many nights have you laid in bed thinking, tomorrow will be different, and tomorrow never is? You already know this. You've felt this, that heavy silence at night, when there's no noise, no distractions, just you. And the truth, you didn't do what you said you would do again, and it hurts. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, deep, because every broken promise chips away at something inside you, something important, something you don't even realize you're losing, self-respect. Think about that. You're not just wasting time, you're destroying the relationship you have with yourself, and once that breaks, nothing else works. You can watch all the motivation you want, you can read books, make plans, set goals, but if your mind knows that your words mean nothing, why would it listen? Why would it obey you when you've proven over and over again that you don't follow through? Stop lying to yourself. This isn't about discipline. This is about trust. And right now, you don't trust yourself. You say you want success, but your actions say something else. You say you want to change, but your habits say you don't. You say you're serious this time, but you've said that before, hundreds of times, and nothing changed. So why would this time be different? Really think about that. Why? What makes today special? What makes this version of you any stronger than the last one? Because right now, you're running on hope, and hope is weak. Hope doesn't wake you up early. Hope doesn't stop your hand from reaching for the phone. Hope doesn't push you when your mind starts negotiating. Discipline does, but discipline requires something you don't have yet. Consistency. And consistency requires something even deeper. Identity. Who are you, really? Not who you say you are, not who you want to be, but who you prove yourself to be every single day. Because right now, you are someone who quits when it gets uncomfortable. You are someone who chooses easy over necessary. You are someone who talks more than they execute, and that's hard to hear. But you already know it's true. Feel that. Look at your days. They're not chaotic. They're predictable. Wake up late or wake up tired. Check your phone. Scroll. Delay. Negotiate. I'll start after this. I'll start in an hour. I'll start when I feel ready. And you never feel ready, because readiness is a lie. It's a feeling, and feelings change every minute. So if your life is built on waiting to feel like doing something, you'll never do it. You'll wait forever while your life quietly slips away. And here's the part nobody tells you. The more you delay, the harder it becomes to start. Because you're not just avoiding work. You're reinforcing a habit, a dangerous one. Avoidance becomes your default. Comfort becomes your addiction. And discipline? Discipline starts to feel unnatural, uncomfortable, almost impossible. Not because it is, but because you've trained yourself to resist it every single day. You don't realize it, but you're practicing failure daily. You're rehearsing it, perfecting it, getting better at it. Every time you choose distraction, Over focus every time you choose comfort. Over growth every time you choose easy. Over necessary, you are strengthening the version of you that you hate and weakening the one you want to become. Think about that. You're not stuck. You're training, just not in the direction you think. And then you compare yourself to others, people who seem disciplined, focused, locked in. And you wonder, what do they have that I don't? It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's something much simpler. They do what they say they're going to do, even when they don't feel like it, especially when they don't feel like it. And you negotiate, you debate, you delay, you escape, and then you wonder why nothing changes. Stop lying to yourself. You already know the answer. Now let's go deeper. Because this isn't just about wasted days, it's about a wasted life, slowly, silently, piece by piece. Every day you delay, you're not just losing time, you're losing momentum, you're losing belief, you're losing the version of yourself that could have existed, and that version, it's still there, somewhere inside you, waiting, watching. Every time you quit, every time you scroll, every time you choose comfort, that version fades a little more. Not gone, but weaker, quieter, harder to reach. And one day, if you keep going like this, you won't even remember who you were trying to become. That's the real danger, not failure. Forgetting your own potential. Be honest, does that scare you? It should, because time isn't stopping. It's moving right now, while you're thinking, while you're hesitating, while you're waiting to feel ready. Your life is moving forward without your permission, and every day you don't take control, you lose a piece of it forever. You don't get it back. There's no rewind, no restart, no I'll fix it later. Later is a lie, a comfortable lie, one that keeps you stuck. You think you have time. You don't. Not the way you think. Because it's not about how many years you have. It's about how many of them you actually use. And right now, you're wasting them. Not dramatically, not in a way people notice, but quietly, daily, consistently, and that's what makes it dangerous. This is the moment. Most people look away. They click off. They distract themselves because facing this truth is uncomfortable, painful, heavy. But you stayed, which means something inside you recognizes this, feels it, knows it's real. And that's where everything begins. Not with motivation, not with hype, but with truth. Raw, uncomfortable truth. Because before you can build discipline, you have to face something first. You are the reason you don't have it. Not your environment, not your past, not your circumstances. You, your choices, your patterns, your habits. And until you own that, nothing changes. Right now, you're standing at a line. On one side, the life you're living. Comfortable, familiar, predictable. On the other side, the life you keep imagining. Disciplined, focused, powerful. And the distance between those two, it's not talent. It's not opportunity. It's one thing. Action. Consistent, uncomfortable, unavoidable action. The kind you've been avoiding. And here's the truth that's going to hit you the hardest. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. And your habits right now are built for failure. So the question is, how much longer are you going to live like this? How many more nights of regret? How many more mornings of empty promises? How many more days wasted on things that don't matter before you finally decide enough? Because if you don't decide soon, this won't just be a phase. This will be your life. And deep down, you know that's not what you want. But wanting isn't enough. It never was. You feel it, don't you? That quiet pressure in your chest, that tension that shows up every time you waste another day. You try to ignore it. You distract yourself. You scroll. You laugh at something meaningless. But it's still there, because deep down, you know exactly what you're doing. You're watching your own life slip and pretending you're not in control. Let's strip this down to the truth. No comfort. No excuses, no filters. You are not undisciplined. You are dependent. Dependent on comfort, dependent on ease, dependent on stimulation. Your brain has been trained to avoid anything that feels hard, slow, or boring. And now, anything that actually matters feels impossible. Think about that. The work that could change your life. Building skills, focusing deeply, staying consistent feels heavy, but scrolling for hours, effortless. Wasting time, easy. Doing nothing, natural. That's not an accident. That's conditioning. You built this day by day, choice by choice, and now you're living inside it. Be honest, when was the last time you sat down with zero distractions and actually focused, not half focused? Not switching between apps. Not checking notifications every few minutes. Real focus. Deep work. One task. Full attention. You already know the answer. It's been a while. Maybe days. Maybe weeks. Maybe longer. And that should scare you. Because the ability to focus is the foundation of everything. Without it, you can't build anything meaningful. Not a business. Not a skill. Not a life. And right now, your focus is broken. Not permanently, but deeply. And here's where it gets worse. You think you're resting, but you're not. You think scrolling relaxes you, but it doesn't. It overstimulates you. It floods your brain with dopamine. Fast, cheap, constant hits. Video after video, post after post. Endless novelty, and then you expect yourself to sit down and do something slow, something difficult, something that doesn't give instant reward. Of course you can't. Your brain rejects it, not because you're weak, but because you've rewired it. You trained yourself to crave speed, to crave ease, to crave constant stimulation. So when real work shows up, your mind panics, it looks for escape, and it finds it every time. Stop lying to yourself. You're not tired. You're overstimulated. You're not lazy. You're addicted. Addicted to distraction. Addicted to comfort. Addicted to the easy way out. Feel that? Let's go deeper. Because this isn't just behavior. It's identity. Every time you avoid something difficult, you send a message to your brain. This is who I am. Someone who quits. Someone who delays. Someone who escapes. And your brain listens. It adapts. It builds patterns around that identity. So the next time you face resistance, it doesn't even feel like a choice anymore. It feels automatic, like that's just what you do. You wake up, and before you even think, your hand reaches for your phone, not consciously, automatically. That's not random. That's programming. You trained that response. You repeated it hundreds, thousands of times. So now, it owns you, and the same thing happens with your goals. You say you're going to start. Your brain hears it. But it doesn't believe you. Why would it? You've proven otherwise. So when the moment comes, it doesn't push you forward. It pulls you back into comfort, into distraction, into the familiar loop. Think about how dangerous that is. You're fighting against yourself. Your own mind is working against your goals. Not because it hates you, but because it's protecting the pattern you've reinforced. Familiar feels safe, even if it's destroying you. And that's why discipline feels so hard. Because you're not just trying to change actions. You're trying to break identity. And identity fights back hard. Let's talk about your biggest enemy, the thing you keep underestimating, the thing that quietly controls your life. Your phone? Look at it. Really, that small device has more control over your time than you do. You wake up with it, you sleep with it, you check it without thinking, you scroll without purpose. Hours disappear, and you don't even notice. Be honest, how many hours did you lose today? Not working, not building, not improving, just consuming. Endless content, endless noise, endless distraction. And for what? Did it move your life forward? Did it make you better? Did it bring you closer to the person you want to become? No, it just filled time and emptied your potential. You already know this. You feel it every night. That slight guilt, that quiet regret. I wasted today, and then what do? You do it again tomorrow. Stop lying to yourself. This isn't harmless. This is costing you your future. And it's not just your phone. It's everything easy. Comfortable environments, endless entertainment, cheap dopamine. Anything that lets you avoid discomfort. Because discomfort is where discipline is built, and you've been running from it every single day. Now let's talk about time, because this is where it gets real. You think you have more of it. You think you can fix this later. You think one day you'll wake up different. You won't. Not like this. Every day you repeat this cycle. You are locking in your future. You are becoming someone, whether you realize it or not. And right now, you are becoming someone who wastes their life slowly, consistently, comfortably. Think about where this leads 1 year from now. If nothing changes, where are you? Same habits, same distractions, same excuses. 5 years? 10? How much potential will be gone by then? How many opportunities missed? How many versions of yourself never realized? Feel that weight. Because this isn't just about today. This is about the direction your entire life is moving. And here's the hardest truth. Nobody is coming to fix this. No one is going to save you. No perfect moment. No sudden motivation. No magical breakthrough. It's just you and your choices every single day. That's it. Now look at yourself. Not the version you show people. Not the one you imagine. The real one. Your actions. Your habits. Your patterns. That's who you are right now. And then look at the person you want to become. Focused, disciplined, respected, someone who follows through, someone who finishes what they start, someone who doesn't negotiate with weakness. Do you see the gap? That distance, that tension, that frustration, that's your identity conflict. You want one thing, but you live another, and that conflict is exhausting. Because every day, you're reminded of it. Every time you fail to act, every time you choose easy, every time you break your own word, you reinforce the wrong identity. And slowly, the version you want to be starts to feel fake, unreachable, like it's not even you. That's how people give up. Not in one moment, but slowly. By losing belief in themselves, you tell yourself stories. I'll start when I feel ready. I just need the right mindset. I'll change soon. But you've been saying that for how long now? Weeks? Months? Years? At what point do you admit it's not coming? That ready is a lie? That motivation is unreliable? That waiting is just another form of avoidance? You already know the answer. You've always known it. You just didn't want to face it. Because facing it means one thing. You have to change. Not think about it. Not plan it. Not talk about it. Actually change. Your actions. Your environment. Your habits. Everything. And that's uncomfortable. That's hard. That requires discipline. The very thing you've been avoiding. But here's the truth. The pain you feel right now, that frustration, that guilt, that regret, it doesn't go away. It builds day by day, layer by layer, until one day it turns into something worse. Regret, real regret. The kind that hits you years later, when you realize you had the time, you had the opportunity, you had the chance, and you wasted it. That's what you're risking. Not just failure, but regret. Permanent, unchangeable, heavy. So now the question isn't, can you build discipline? The real question is, are you willing to become someone who actually lives it? Because that requires something you've been avoiding this entire time, discomfort. And in the next part, you're going to understand exactly what that looks like. Not motivation, not hype, but a system, a way of living that forces discipline, whether you feel like it or not. Because if you keep relying on feelings, you already know how this ends. So now you see it. Not the surface level problem, but the real one. Not laziness, not lack of motivation. A broken system, a broken identity, a mind trained to escape instead of execute. And if you're waiting for this part to give you some comfortable solution, you're going to be disappointed, because nothing about real discipline is comfortable. This is where everything changes. Not slowly, not gradually, but instantly, the moment you decide that your feelings are no longer in charge. Right now, your entire life is controlled by how you feel. If you feel good, you act. If you feel tired, you stop. If you feel bored, you escape. You've been living like a slave to temporary emotions, and emotions are weak, unstable, unreliable, constantly changing. So if your actions depend on them, your life will always be inconsistent. Discipline begins the moment you break that connection. The moment you say, I don't care how I feel, I'm doing it anyway. Not once, not when it's easy, every time. Feel that, because that's the line most people never cross. They wait to feel ready. You don't. They negotiate. You execute. They hesitate. You move. That's the difference. That's it. Now listen carefully, because this is where people mess it up. They think discipline is about doing more. It's not. It's about removing everything that makes failure easy. Right now, your environment is built for distraction. Your phone is within reach. Your notifications are on. Your space is comfortable. Your habits are automatic. You don't need more motivation. You need friction. Make distraction harder. Physically, put your phone in another room, not on silent, not face down, out of reach. Because if it's near you, you will touch it. Not maybe, not sometimes, you will. Control your inputs, because what you consume controls what you do. If your day starts with noise, your mind stays scattered. If your day starts with focus, your mind follows. So stop starting your day like a consumer. No scrolling, no random content, no cheap dopamine. You wake up, you move immediately. No negotiation, and then comes the part you've been avoiding. Sitting down and doing the work. No music, no background noise, no switching tasks. Just you and the thing you've been delaying. At first, it will feel unbearable. Your mind will resist. It will look for escape. It will try to convince you this isn't working. You'll do it later. Just take a break. Ignore it, all of it, because that voice is the same one. that kept you stuck. You don't argue with it. You don't negotiate. You act. Start small, but non-negotiable. Not 5 hours, not some unrealistic plan. One task, one block of focused work completed, no matter what. And when you finish, you don't celebrate. You don't reward yourself with distraction. You stack it. Another block, another action, another proof. Because discipline isn't built in one big moment. It's built in small wins that you repeat daily until they become identity. You need structure, not freedom. Because right now, freedom is what's destroying you. Too many choices, too many options, too many escapes. So you reduce it. Simplify your day. Same wake-up time, same start, same focus block every day. No thinking, no deciding, just execution. You remove decisions, so you remove failure. Because every decision is a chance to quit, and you've been taking that chance. Every time, your day should feel predictable, not exciting, not constantly changing, boring, repetitive, controlled, because that's where discipline lives, not in chaos, in structure. And here's what you won't like. You're going to have to do things you don't want to do every day, without exception. Wake up when you don't feel like it. Work when you don't feel like it. Continue when you don't feel like it. That's the job. That's the requirement. Because the moment you allow yourself to skip once, you reopen the door, and that door leads back to your old life. Now let's go deeper. Because discipline alone isn't enough. You need something stronger. Obsession. Not the loud, toxic kind. Not the one people talk about for show. Quiet obsession. Internal. Focused. The kind where you don't need motivation because your standard is too high. Your identity is too strong. Your vision is too clear. You don't ask, do I feel like it? You ask, is this who I am now? And if the answer is yes, you act accordingly. No hesitation, no delay. This is where everything changes. When discipline stops being something you do and becomes something you are. You are someone who shows up. You are someone who finishes. You are someone who doesn't break their word. And once that identity locks in, everything becomes easier. Not because the work changes, but because you do. Let's repeat the truth. You've been avoiding. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits right now. Your habits are weak, unstable, built on feelings. So your life reflects that. Inconsistent, unfocused, unfulfilled. But the moment your habits change, everything changes. Not instantly, not magically, but inevitably. Because discipline compounds, just like failure does. Every day you show up, you build trust. Every time you follow through, you strengthen identity. Every moment you resist distraction, you take control back. And slowly, you become someone different, not by thinking, not by planning, by doing. Picture this, 6 months from now, you wake up, and for once, there's no hesitation, no negotiation, no internal battle. You just move, you sit down, you focus, you execute. Not because you feel motivated, but because that's who you've become. No more guilt at night. No more empty promises, no more regret, just progress. Real, visible, undeniable. That version of you, it's not far, it's not impossible, it's built, one decision at a time. And right now, you're one decision away from continuing the same cycle or breaking it completely. So don't just sit here and feel motivated. That's what you always do, and you know where that leads. This time, prove it, not to me, to yourself. Do something hard the moment this ends. No delay, no thinking, just action. And if you're serious, if you're actually done with the version of yourself that keeps failing, then write it right now. Comment, I'm done. Not as motivation, as a decision, because words mean nothing until you back them up